you a hairstylist or someone in the beauty industry scrambling every tax season, stressed out, and unsure how much to save for taxes? Trust me, I have been there. In today's video, I'm going to show you a simple, stress-free system to save for taxes so you can avoid the surprises and take control of your money once and for all. My name is Megan and I teach hairstylists how to create financial stability behind the chair and outside the salon with actionable tips and strategies that work. When I first started as a booth renter, I made every single mistake in the books. I didn't even save for taxes and ended up with a massive $15,000 bill that literally left me in tears. I was so scared and thought about quitting. To me, I felt like I wasn't even barely making it. And now I owe an additional $15,000 to the IRS. Unfortunately, I didn't have that money and I had to put it on a credit card, and it took me the entire year to pay it off. This wasn't just a one-time mistake, it became a pattern. Unfortunately for me, for years as a self-employed hairstylist, I felt stuck in this miserable cycle of constantly owing money that I didn't have. Tax season felt like a huge, impossible task I could never get ahead of. I kept telling myself, next year, I'll be better and I'll save. But without a real plan, I never followed through, and the stress just kept piling up year after year. I was so miserable and always dreaded that tax season. But that experience taught me the importance of managing taxes as a self-employed booth rent hairstylist and really getting organized for tax season. I turned it around with tools and strategies that I now teach other hairstylists. Before we dive in, if saving for taxes as a hairstylist feels confusing or overwhelming, I've got you. This is exactly what I do. I help hairstylists like you create a simple system to stay organized, save the right amount, and avoid that tax surprise. Book a free consultation using the link below to learn how we can work together, and I would love to help you get started. But first, let's talk about some basics first. Understanding your tax obligations as a self-employed hairstylist. As a booth renter, you're classified as self-employed, which means you are fully responsible for self-employment taxes, which include Social Security and Medicare, along with the federal and state income taxes. I know we all hate to pay taxes, but it is an unfortunate part of life. You gotta do it. With a normal W-2 job, where an employer pays you, taxes are automatically withheld, which is so nice and making it stress-free for them. But with us being a self-employed hairstylist, we have to pay our taxes all on our own. The IRS wants their money as the year progresses, so they require us to pay in each quarter. I did not know this when I first started. I would just wait until the end of the year and pay one big lump sum bill, but I noticed on my tax return that I was charged penalties and interest. Missing the quarterly taxes doesn't just mean more stress. It means additional penalties of 0.5% of the unpaid taxes per month, plus an interest on top of that. Over a year, this can really add up fast. If you owe more than $1,000 for the year, this is not optional. This is required by law. By not paying in quarterly and missing the deadlines will lead to penalties and that extra interest. Honestly, why pay more than we need to the IRS? Let's just plan to make these payments each and every quarter. The key deadlines to make the payments is April 15th, June 15th, September 15th, and January 15th. You can use the form 1040 to calculate and submit your payments. If you have any questions about this, go ahead and put them in the comments and I'll be sure to respond. Now that we understand why we must pay our quarterly payments and the dates that they are due, what are some steps to help make this easier on you? I highly and strongly recommend separating your personal and your business finances. This step was a game changer for me. I opened 3 business bank accounts, and after doing what I'm about to show you, I have never had any penalties or interest again, and I pay on time every quarter, really eliminating my stress. With 3 business bank accounts, label each account as following: operations, tax account, and profit account. I have another video I did on managing your accounts as a hairstylist. I will link below if you want to get more info on these 3 accounts and how I manage them. But for now, just make sure you have at least the tax account. Here's what I do. I get paid mostly through Square and Venmo. All of my income clears the very next morning after I work. I grab a cup of coffee and I send 20% of my income to that tax account for my taxes. I do this every single day, and it helps you save for your taxes as a hairstylist without any stress. It's done for you. Next is actually keeping track of your books. I have tried the old school method of using an Excel sheet or putting receipts in a box. Honestly, that lasted about 2 months, if I'm being real. We all want to make life easy, right? I know if something is hard and tedious, I'm not going to do it for long term, especially after a long day behind the chair. For me, I want to use a tool that really helps keeping my books simplified. I strongly recommend QuickBooks Self-Employed. It lets you snap photos of receipts, auto-categorizes expenses, tracks your income, and syncs directly with tax filing tools. There are tools like TurboTax Self-Employed that make tax preparation much easier, and if you have experience in filing your own taxes, you can go that route. However, I always recommend hiring a CPA. In my experience, the benefits of the CPA will definitely outweigh the cost because of the little things you may not even think of. We actually have a CPA in our community that helps file taxes for our stylists, and he has saved us a lot of money, and we love him. He specializes in hairstylist taxes. A little pro tip, if you are earning a higher income, transitioning to an S Corp could be a game changer for some tax savings. I will give you an example. If your net income is consistently over $50,000, switching to an S Corp could save you the thousands in self-employment taxes. Thankfully, we have an amazing CPA who helped guide me through that transition. Again, if you are confused by all this or need some assistance, book a free call using the link below to learn how you can work with us and join a community of like-minded hairstylists who are taking control of their finances and building a secure future. I'd love to help you take that next step. Before we move on, I would love to hear from you. What's your biggest challenges when it comes to savings for your taxes as a hairstylist? Drop a comment below and I would love to help. The next thing you must do is track your deductions to pay less in taxes, legally of course. Tax deductions are essential for reducing your tax bill. Here are some common ones: rent, overhead, salon supplies and equipment, client refreshments, education, travel expenses, credit card processing fees, insurance, phone, internet, and booking app. Just a quick tip for big purchases like chairs or fixtures, consult your accountant. Some items maybe need to be depreciated instead of deducted all at once. I can go over these deductions in great detail in another video if you like. Comment below tax deductions and I will make sure to do this. The key thing is staying consistent with your quarterly payments. How do you know how much to pay in? You can estimate payments using last year's tax return, or if you do decide to use QuickBooks Self-Employed, there is an estimated tax payment that will help guide you. This will help you avoid tax penalties. Another option is paying similar to what you did for the year before. For example, let's say you earned $50,000 last year and your tax rate is about 20%. You'd owe $10,000. Divide that by 4 and you'd pay about $2,500 each quarter. Way more achievable, right? If you're still hesitant, you can still consult with your CPA, which is what I really recommend you do. Whatever you choose to do, paying consistently not only avoids penalties, but also makes April a hell of a lot less stressful. Taxes might seem intimidating, but with these steps, you're on the right track of taking control of your finances and setting yourself up for success. If you're ready to dive even deeper, like I said, book a complimentary consultation call on the link below this video, and I would love to help guide you all of this above and so much more. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more hairstylists and finance tips, and share this video to other fellow hairstylists. Remember, you've got this, and I'm here to help. See you in the next video.